Activity will serve as an intro to Photoshop. I have the application open. We can go to the File menu to go to New to Open. You can go down here to New File and Open. And I've got recent elements available here too. We'll go to File, Open, or click Open. You're going to download and then access the kitchen table assets. And I can click on all of them with the Shift key to select all of them and open in Photoshop. These little squares here, okay, it's going to be like a grid. You can turn this off, turn off extras if that does show up with you. And let's take a quick look at Photoshop. This file, kitchen table PSD, Photoshop document. PSD means that there's going to be layers in the file and not just one merged file with one like photograph, and that's all. We'll go to layers, and we've got some different items here. If I click and drag on the eyeballs, now the table layer, the background, is the only thing visible. We have a few other elements in here that we're going to place on the table. And again, just as a quick little intro to what Photoshop can do. All right, glass, here's a glass of pop here. And then we have banana split on this layer. We're going to move these two over to kitchen table. So let's go ahead and kind of do that first, and then we'll go ahead and modify the pictures and get rid of the backgrounds of the three elements here. Okay, so kitchen table is open right now. I can go into Window and go to Arrange, and we're going to go ahead and do 3 stacks. We can see all of our files: glass of pop, banana split, kitchen table. I want to bring one over, and then we're going to bring something over a little differently. Okay, so if I click on this glass of pop here, and I click on the layer, grab my move tool, I should be able to click and drag and bring this over. Okay, and pop did show up here. Now it is below these layers, so you can turn them off or on, or I can click on this layer and move it to the top. I'm going to double click on layer 1, and we'll just put glass of pop. Make sure your layers are always named. The more information, the more layers you have on here, the more important it is to make sure everything is labeled properly. This one I'll go ahead and close. And then we've got this beautiful dessert. And I want to show you a couple little items here. We're going to move layers to get out of here. Get this out of the, you know what? We'll leave this here. We're going to keep that here. And we're going back to Window and go back to Arrange and go back to Consolidate. Now we're in Tab. So I can just work on banana split and make this a little bit larger for you. Turning off the view of extras. No grid needed here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it and move it over. Okay, well I did that on the glass. This one we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're going to go ahead and select subject and show you kind of what happens with this. I'm going to click on, there's 2 options here. If I do select subject, this is so nice that you don't have to select all this by hand anymore. So we'll let AI do this for us. Generative selection. And while it's selected, I could copy it, edit copy. All right. And then go to kitchen table and edit paste. Last time we did a drag and drop. Paste. And it comes in without the background. Okay, let me go to banana split, and we're going to make a mask here, and I just want to show you on one layer what this does. Click on mask, and it makes a mask. The black hides is the pixels that are hidden, and then the picture is here. But what if I go back to Window and Arrange? We'll go to 2 up. And I click on this picture and I drag this in. Okay. It actually came in with its mask. So that's kind of cool. So we are going to go ahead and close this one up. And now we're just working. I'm not going to save this because I'm not messing with this at this point. I'm going to not save it. It's going to be back to its original. Now again, this is going to be my ice cream. So I'm going to double click here and Go ahead and type this in. And now I've got different elements on this layout. So one at a time, the ice cream, sorry, keep clicking too much, is already outlined. That's great. Glass of pop. Let's do this a little differently. Come on, okay. Undo, undo. Activating the layer that you want to work on. Okay, make sure you always have the active layer on if you want to do something. Because when I was moving this, I'm actually moving the ice cream. Turn it on, I moved it down. I'm going to undo and undo and undo, and that is Command Z. There you go, there's your shortcut, Command Z. And this one's again ready to go. Glass of pop. Activate the layer. Now with the move tool, I can click and drag it down a little bit. We'll go ahead and let's just remove background on this one and see if this works. Pretty good. We'll let that one go. All right, so that one's ready. Plate of food. Let's see what happens with this one. Move tool, oh, see, I did it again. Undo. Activate your layer. Moving it in here. I'm going to zoom in on this one because it's not going to work so well. Moving my layers down out of the way a little bit. Okay. So plate of food is active. And let's go ahead and select subject. All right, so this is selecting the actual food and not the plate. I do want the plate. So on this one, we may have to go back to the old tools of selecting. Let's try this, and I'm sure there's great fun ways to do this a little bit faster, but I do want to kind of go over just the generative fills and selecting and the easy way, but we'll go back to selecting a few things the hard way. All right, so I'm in the wrong place. Here we go, selecting tools. Click quick selection tool. This should work out pretty good. I'm going to click on this one, select this tool, and this is going to create a new selection. This will add to a selection, and this will subtract from a selection. So I want to add to it. We've got the food already. So if I take my tool, and this just changes the size, all right, well, let that stick right there. And if I click in here, I'm adding, I want to make sure you add. I'm going to click on the plate. There are so many ways to do this. We're just going to go through a few different ways, and we'll learn more as we go through. Okay, so I just clicked and dragged around the plate, and it's adding to it. So my marching ants are looking a lot better. Now, if I do something wrong, let's say I want to subtract something from it. Let's say I want to take this little area out. You just click and drag around it. I'm going to undo that, Command Z, put it back in. Now, we can go ahead and put a mask on here, and I do like to use the, oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, look at this, I've got some marching ants in here too. I want to make sure I'm adding and getting everything. Some of the fries had some marching ants on it, so I wanted to click and drag around that. Okay, in my layers, we're going to make a mask of this to delete, or hide, hide the black background or table behind this. Clicking on mask simply. Okay, and I've got like a black halo around here. So I'm going to undo this, edit, undo, add layer mask, and we're going to modify this slightly. You can do it under the select menu, and it's in here somewhere, modify, and we could do that and contract it, or you can come down here and modify, and again contract. And I'm just going to go 1 pixel. If I did 3, let me do like 3 or 4. Let's go way too much. We'll hit OK. We'll undo it. You see how it's contracting? It's coming in. Okay, so I'm going to undo that, and we're just going to go by like 1 pixel. So contract, selection by 1, hit OK, and you can see it came in just a little bit, and now we'll go ahead and make a mask. Now this one again has a nice mask to it, so if I got rid of this mask or hit it, the background is actually still there. The photo is completely intact, okay? That one is ready. Bowl of soup. Let's see what happens here. Will the easy one work? Let's go to bowl of soup and activate it. Let's select subject and see what happens. don't think it's going to be the best scenario. So it's grabbing all the food. So I'm going to get rid of this in here and this in here. So we're going to subtract with my selection tool here, with my quick selection tool, subtracting from. So clicking and dragging around on the bread, and I want to keep the bowl. And I'm not looking for, oh, I did too much, undo. Click and drag just on the bread. It's grabbing the bowl again too. All right, we'll have to modify this. You can see my marching ants is around the top of the bowl, but not the brown of the bowl. So I'm going to add to it. I'm going to click and drag just on the bowl and see how this works. And then subtract from again. It kind of learns what you're trying to do. Let's just get this. Like I said, I'm not looking for perfection on this selection at all. I just want to give you an idea of what we can do, and we'll go back and modify it. And I'm going to add to it, and you can also do, if I click on add, and then oh, okay. There we go. The option key. I'm just hitting the option key, and it will go to subtract. I have this plus selected, but if I hit the option key, it'll go to subtract. So it does it for me quickly. I'm going to add right now and try to get a little bit more of the bowl. Option key and subtract. I don't want that little bit. It's not all that great in here, but like I said, I'm just not looking for a great selection right now. I just want to make sure that you get this basic idea down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put a mask on this. And then what you could do, what's kind of cool with this too, is if you want to modify the mask, look at this. If I go to the brush tool, and I'm going to go to a larger size so we can see what's going on. All right. If you brush with white, this is your foreground. If I brush with white, oop, my opacity is down. Opacity is at 100. So I have a brush. I want to have this hard. Okay. Kind of hard. Opacity is 100%. I'm painting with white. And I've got the, not just the layer selected, but the mask of the layer selected. And if I click and drag, I am putting that image back in there. So again, masks just hide certain elements of the image. Or if I change this, I switch this to black, and I paint with black, again, making sure that the mask is actually selected and not the picture, but the mask, and I paint my black, I can go and hide it this way too. So I'm not a big fan of doing it with the eraser tool. I like making paths and doing it that way if I need be, but we're just going to kind of go through here and kind of modify it somewhat nicely. Just click and drag. I'm going to zoom in, get a smaller sized element here, smaller. Whoops, that's really bad. Do a lot of undos here if you're just going through here and popping it in. I want a bigger tool for this. Again, it's not great, but I'm not going to grade you on your selections, just so that you've got your images in here. Not a pretty bowl, but you get the idea. Move tool, move it in here. Fruit bowl, hopefully this works out pretty good. Let's see. Fruit bowl, activate, select subject. That's pretty good. Oh, you see right down here, it's not grabbing this little bit right here, so I do need to add to this a little bit. Grabbing my paintbrush tool, or my selection tool, sorry. Selection tool. quick selection tool. We're going to add to it. Okay, that's good enough. We might want to smooth it. You could do that. Let's try this. Let's do select. Let's modify and smooth it by 2 pixels, fine. And I'll probably go ahead and modify this again and contract by 1. We'll do that. Okay, and then we'll put a mask on here. Okay, we're going to stop it right now, just getting our images on the table. On the next one, we're going to go ahead and modify the images a little bit to size and then add some shadows, and then we'll be all done.